Hey, good day. It is Kathleen Acker. And so let's talk about some basics here about, the fraud and the manipulation of, I don't know, a home marriage and divorce and having the state in there. The state does not belong in any marriage ever, nor does it belong in your divorce. And that is why having a private agreement is of the utmost importance before, during, and God forbid, but after your marriage ends. So, whether you're married or walking through thinking about getting married, already married, or going through divorce, there's one truth that rarely gets spoken out loud, and that is private agreements and the power, the immense power of the agreement that carries executive level weight when done properly. Because contract law is powerful when done in the private. And guess what? The bar operates. The bar that, those job descriptions with little titles called attorneys. They're part of a bar card holder, little club, member club, private member club. Let's just call it what it is. Just like the country clubs that stayed open during C-19 while the rest of us weren't allowed to go out. The country clubs could do whatever they want because they have a private agreement. You too have the right to act and operate in the private. And most attorneys are not going to tell you that. Why? Well, simply because they just don't make money when you do a private agreement. And the number one moneymaker for the court system across the board is family court. Number two is bankruptcy. So let's see. If you're getting divorced, you have the two primary living souls in the marriage spending tons of money to fight and have someone else speak for them because they've taken your ability to communicate with your partner, the one that at one point in your life you married because you loved. So whatever your differences are, these attorneys make a lot more money if you're arguing, and it's all in going to demise your sons and daughters. So let's just get them out of the way for a little bit. Let's see what that looks like, shall we? So when you started your marriage out, not all, but most get married in front of God. First in time, first in right. Small little rule you might want to look up. First in time, first in right. So when you fear the system, then they can control you. And when you fear losing your sons and daughters because you're parting ways and you're not getting along, they feed like vampires feed, like parasites feed on that. But the system that sets all this up fears two freedom-loving, truth-seeking, sovereign people, not citizens, and people getting together, living souls who know how to write and own their private agreement and come to terms and be able to communicate. It is be you to the fullest. It's beautiful. So how did the state get into your bedroom, your finances, and into your kids' lives? Well, let's see. Let's just take a look at that, shall we? Because marriage is a very, very, very profitable model for the court system. So see, the attorneys, they all got together in this little club and they have this thing called the bar. And then they're all like, hey, we're like little parasites. Let's get together and think of how we can make tons of money off of other people, even our friends and our family, and maybe especially them, because they'll come to us. And so it's an extremely, hats off to them for playing this part of the game because they did a fabulous job. Yay. It is a top revenue stream for the court system, for the judges, for the attorneys. And guess what? All of them took a note to each other. There's nothing to hide there, is there? It's hidden in plain sight. So Did you know that when you got your marriage license, it's a business license? So the state makes money right there, and then we won't even get the birth certificate and everything. But so you didn't even realize what you were saying and what you were signing when you did that. You just thought you had to in order for you to get your husband's or your spouse's benefits. Yeah, that's not true, by the way, because you can have a private agreement that says that, and they have to honor it because it has executive level. So when everything, like you have a marriage and you are doing a matrimony agreement, this is a private matrimony agreement. It can say that you have date nights every week. Those are extremely important. Those can just be, taking a walk or whatever. Those are important to have, that you meet monthly, quarterly, just like you would if you had a trust or something like that. You are committed. It's a commitment to each other to take time out for each other, and you speak it, you express it into existence, and you write that, and then you modify it yearly, and you have an annual meeting. Maybe it's on a vacation. Maybe it's on a private little getaway on the weekends, quarterly or yearly, or however often you want to have one. You write that into the bylaws if you want to create that, or into your private agreement. Can you imagine how much power this gives you and how beautiful that makes your marriage? And then let's say, well, you just start not getting along for whatever reasons, and you need to part ways. Did you know that you could do this very nicely in a private agreement? And then if you have to file anything, you can file it in a court of chancery. Oh, boy, the attorneys aren't going to like that one. You see, because the court of chancery means that they're not a party to the agreement. So it's just you two that gets to go. And you two can talk. And you two can communicate. You can get a mediator. There's lots of mediators out there that can help you. There's different people like myself or others that can help you. I am not an attorney. I don't give legal advice. I give sound advice, not legal advice, because I take the legalese out of the private agreement. But this isn't to promote that. This is how you take your power back, how you become the hero in your marriage, in your kids, your sons and daughters' lives, and your life. You spread it, you embrace it, you become the role model for all your friends and family to watch. So when things do fall apart, attorneys will push you towards courtrooms, silence, not talking, suffering. I mean, think about how much suffering goes on. It's like the little parasites are all a little hungry, but like when you eat sugar and the parasites in your body get really hungry, it's kind of like that. And then, like, of course, like after all that, the number two is bankruptcy, because after you get done paying all these attorneys, let's face it, your funds are all gone. And they didn't go to little Johnny Jr. and Susie Q. Nope, they didn't go to the ones that matter the most in your life, your sons and daughters. So let's take back our power, our finances, and everything. We don't need to feed on confusion. We can put this in a written agreement that can solve things for yourself. It's a better way of doing it. It's a private way. It's a sovereign way. It's a truth, freedom, loving way. So you write your agreement. You can write it before, during your marriage, and as you're parting ways. You can create the clarity during your union or as you're parting ways. You can create it so that you can always go to Johnny Jr.'s little baseball games and still get along and not resent each other. Now there's always some healing time, but this can free up some of that money so that maybe you can get some different alternative healing methods to help you, whether it's self-care or whatever you need. You can get that. You can spend money on that instead of maybe, I don't know, 20, 40 grand on an attorney. Not that I don't like attorneys. Not that I'm saying you shouldn't get one. I'm just saying there's alternatives that maybe they're not telling you because they don't make as much money. And I don't even know if they do draft private agreements. Anyway, this allows a private divorce agreement, a private matrimony agreement by and between you and your spouse, your partner, whatever you call them. This is a way for you to walk a path of authenticity, of kindness, of compassion. I know that you're thinking maybe, Oh, I could never do that. I mean, I'm in court for a year and 9 or 10 months now, going to appellate court. I'm filing stuff in um, lower court. It's a domestic court, which is a subdivision of the state corporation and doesn't have any jurisdiction. Anyway, I can go on and on about that case, and happy to share it because it's public records, right? On what's going on with that. I had a private agreement, and the judge and the attorneys, which my ex is an attorney, are all ignoring that. They're ignoring the private agreement, and I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down because the importance of a private agreement, if my private agreement fails, then the Constitution fails and the bar fails. That's how important a private agreement is. I am so solid on the fact that this is the way forward. This is the way that we take back our power, that we take back our voice, that we take back everything, our dignity, our integrity. It is so important to learn these things, that you have the right to contract with like kind living souls. And if you're not sure what that means, I talk about the 9 elements of contracts in my course. And it's about having dignity for your children, your sons and daughters, and how to teach them how to communicate, how to teach them how to handle the conflict that comes about, and how to manage that and control it. And it's just a start. Get the state out of your bedroom. Put God back in the bedroom, and have some trust and some mutual respect for each other. Anyway, hopefully this helps. Most don't even know that we have the ability to have private agreements and not involve attorneys. They just throw you into this domestic court that doesn't is administrative. And again, in case I haven't said it, I don't give legal advice. I am not an attorney, and never have I wanted to be one. I am a contract expert. What makes me a contract expert is that I studied under some of the most brilliant attorneys globally, and I've negotiated globally in pharma and in manufacturing, and I've done in a variety of contracts, thousands in a year. And I love contracts. I love pulling the legalese and the confusion out of contracts so that they're clear and concise, and so that you know what it is that you're signing and what you're reading. But the thing is, I teach you how to do that. And that, my friend, could be dangerous to the system. Anyway, if you liked this, if it helped you in any way, or you know somebody that would benefit from it, please like and share. And until next time, roll the dice. I don't know where they are. Roll the dice, play the game of life, and have some fun. Thanks for watching.